Okay, that's why in our lessons, our goal is complete nutrients, not only macro. That's why we don't only teach macro, we teach everything. Okay? Again, what is the best fertilizer for the plants? The plants itself, because the plants had everything. Am I right? The plants had everything. Am I right?
Yes.
So the best fertilizer is the plants itself, because it has everything. Now, so all these nutrients will be in the soil. Okay, will be in the soil. And the microbes will deliver all those nutrients to the vegetation. Right? Right?
Yes.
Diba? Feeder. So the microbes will bring the nutrients in the soil to give it to your vegetation. So when your vegetation has complete food, what will happen? What will
They
happen?
will grow healthy. And
They will grow healthy. That's the right word. Healthy. They will not only grow, but they will grow healthy. Because they have complete nutrients. That's the key word. Okay? So if the plants have complete nutrients and they grow, after they grow, they flowers, after they flowers, they bloom. So there are fruits. So what happened? The life form will eat of the fruits. So if the life form has complete food, nutrients intake, what happens to the life form? They becomes healthy also, and they will grow to adolescent, and they will give birth.
give birth again.
Oh, may anak na.
It will reproduce.
Nagbunga, they bloom, and
It will reproduce.
they will produce offspring. Because there's complete food, they will produce offspring. So there will be more waste.
Oh,
Am
more.
I right? Am I right? There will be
Yes.
more waste.
Yes.
So those waste will go back to the soil, and the microbes in the soil will decompose them to become nutrients. So there will be more nutrients in the soil. So when there are more nutrients in the soil, the microbes will deliver all those nutrients to the plants, and the plants should have complete food. If the plants have complete food, what will happen? They will grow, bloom much more. They will bear much more fruits because the population increases, so they have to produce more fruit. But because there are more nutrients, the plants will produce more fruits. So more fruits will develop to feed the population. So complete food being fed to the population, so that the offspring will grow again, becomes adolescent, then they will bear child na naman. They will bear children again. So there will be apos, grandchildren. So more populations, more waste. You see the cycle? You see the cycle? Now, this is your goal. This is your goal in the farm. You can start from vegetation. So, it's the cycle. Now, you might start from plants. You might be starting to produce plants. Okay? But, don't just stop on plants. Go into livestock also. You can start small livestock because the manure of the livestock is also crucial in the fertilizer. Why? Kasi the manure is semi-processed already from the plants. Again, the manure is semi-processed already from the plants. So when you let the microbes process it much faster, much better. Kaysa plant itself that you want to process it, decompose it into fertilizer. Mas gwapo yun ang manure na gawin mong fertilizer kaysa plants. But the plants can do, the manure can do. Because the manure is the finished process of eating the plants already. Nakuha nyo? While ang plants, still you have to have a long process. Clear? Now, so this is the cycle that I want you to look on. This is your goal in the farm. If the cycle of your farm is complete, listen ha, if the cycle of your farm is complete, you will see that you have less labor already. Am I right? Ulit. If the cycle of the farm is complete, you will have less labor already. Kung kompleto na yung cycle ng farm mo, makita ninyo, mas minus ang labor mo sa farm. Bakit ma? Why? Why you will have less labor?
Because the microbes will do all the work.
Because the nature takes over your responsibility already. The nature is working for you already. Not you. Ang kalikasan na nagtrabaho para sa imo. Hindi ka na nagtrabaho diyan. Anong gitrabaho mo din diya? Be. Anong gitrabaho mo diya? Oh, look at the cycle. Where is your work? Your work is just planting and harvesting. That's all. But the fertilizer is complete already. Am I right? The fertilizer for your plants is complete. The food for your animals is complete. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
If the cycle is complete, then you will have less labor. But if you start from vegetables, for example, you start from here, you don't have that. So what do you mean? It means that you have to bring in the waste of this one to the farm. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Kukuha ka ng manure, gikan sa gawas, isulot mo sa farm. Kasi ang manure, mas gwapong fertilizer. Klaro ba? So you will be bringing the manure. So that's labor cost. Am I right? May trabaho ka. And you have to process the manure. Now, if everything is complete in the farm, then you don't need it anymore. You don't need to bring in the manure. Because who is the one who's going to give you the manure? The whole cycle of the farm. The biodiversity of your farm. Who are going to give the manure? Not only the animals. When you have the animals in the farm, they give you the manure. But when the farm becomes balanced, who give you the manure? Not only the animals. You have the insects, you have the birds, you have the microbes. The microbes also poo. The microbes also poo. Nagtatairan sila. You have trillions of microbes in your farm and they poo. How many manure do you have? You don't need to bring in manure already. The earthworms give you poo. You don't need to bring in any manure already. The insects, poo. The birds, poo. All the small animals, poo. When everything is perfect, everything is there already. You don't need to do anything already. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
That's your goal. Bring back the biodiversity of your farm, then you have less labor. You will have less labor. Clear? So that's your goal. So the most important part is this microorganism. That's the number one secret of a farm, of a successful farm. The microbes. Just have the microbes, 50% of your problems solved. Now remember, if you practice this technology, you have to stop the conventional. Because if you don't stop the conventional, you are not going to see this happen, the cycle. Because you are going to destroy something. Kung gamit ka tong technology, kinahanglan mo hunong kayo sa conventional. Kung sige-sige pa kayo ng conventional, madaot ang kining cycle, hindi makumplito. Madaot. Look at this farm. This farm, ilang taon na tayo dito? 2009. 8. Up to now, we never put in chemical here. Look at the trees, look at the plants. Are they sick? Are they sick?
No.
No. We never put pesticide, fungicide, herbicide, monoxide, whatever side. Suicide, genocide, wala. None. They never experience sick trees dying. None. And they are not completely applying the whole program pa, just partial. Because we don't have people to handle the farm. All of our staff are always going out, going to the areas, teaching. So we have only one people here handling the farm. How can one people handle this farm? So partial application, but never apply chemicals anymore. But you can see, no diseases. No diseases. Before, when we started here, a lot of diseases. Even the lanzones is scale insects, plenty. But look at now. None. It's gone. No chemicals, no nothing. No urea, no 14. And you can see a lot of grass. That's part of nature. We'll touch that tomorrow regarding grass. In your farm, you want to take away grass. Here we want more grass. Again, in your farm, you want to take away grass. Here we want more grass. Because they becomes fertilizer. You see? You want to kill grass. Here we don't want to kill grass. We want more grass to grow. More kind of grass to grow. Because it balances ecosystem. We'll be touching that tomorrow. Okay? So what is more crucial is the microbe. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to teach you how to produce this microorganism. Now, the microorganism I'm going to teach you will be coming from the soil, coming from the plants, coming from the life form. All the microbes that you need to develop for the completion of your microbial activities of your farm. Klaro ba ito? Clear? So we're going to teach you how to produce all these microbes. So this is our lesson. So the first one I'm going to teach. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to teach you first natural farming inputs. Okay? Then after natural farming inputs, I'm going to teach you JEDAB inputs in response to natural farming inputs. Okay? Then tomorrow, how to apply. Tomorrow, how to apply. Clear? Okay. Now, let's go first to natural farming inputs. First, IMO. What do you mean by IMO? Indigenous Micro-organisms. Now, the first word, indigenous, anong ibig sabihin ng indigenous? What do you mean by indigenous?
Anong naara sa ato diri makita?
Local, common. Oh, hindi IPs. Indigenous man. Na, local. It means the microbes comes from your local environment. Now, what do I mean? If that is the meaning of indigenous, what does that relay to you right now? It means
We have resources, sir, na magamit natin sa pag-ferment.
we had indigenous microbes that we can capture. No. So anong ibig sabihin? What does this mean? It means you don't need to buy imported. Filipino is very concerned about imported. When you said this is imported, wow, good, very good, imported, very expensive. That's why it's imported. That's why it's expensive. No, come on. It's not because imported is expensive. It's because you have to bring them in. You have the freight and handling. Then you have the wholesale, retail, etc. So many hands. That's why the price is so sky high. It is not because the product is expensive. No. It's very cheap to produce them. But because the company want to earn and they have incur expenditure, so they have to add on to the price. That's why it's expensive. And it's so dangerous to apply foreign microbes to a local environment. Come on, guys. Don't be fooled. O kayo magpaloko. No need to buy because I'm going to teach you how to make. Mas mura. Now, who is better? The imported one or the local one?
The local.
Local one.
The local one. Indigenous. So it means it's in your environment. In our Philippine environment. We don't need to buy something from outside or imported from others. Clear? Okay. Now, indigenous microorganism. So we are going to capture our local indigenous microorganism. How to capture them? Very simple. 2 ingredients that we use to capture them. Rice or cooked rice and molasses. Now, in the Philippines, we will use rice. Because nationwide, in the whole Philippines, we use rice as our staple food. No? Pinoy, bigas yung kinakaon, no? Now, meron mga tana. There are people who ask me, Sir, only rice? Now, what is the purpose of rice? First of all, before I go to the next question. What is the purpose of rice? The rice is to attract microbes. the rice is to capture microbes. Because the microbes like to eat rice. So they are like Filipinos. So they are Filipinos. Okay? So they like to eat rice. So they are Filipinos. Okay? Now, the rice, the cooked rice, wala pa molasses. We'll discuss molasses later on. The rice will be newly cooked, but not hot already. Now, it cannot be bahaw, the rice. What is bahaw? It cannot be all cooked rice. It cannot be all cooked rice. The rice that we use here should be soft. The all cooked rice is already hard because there is no more moisture. But the newly cooked rice is soft because there is still high moisture content. Now, what's the connection? Because the result of producing IMO is in liquid form. So we want more liquid. Now, where do you put this cooked rice? This is what we develop. Look, bamboo. This is a bamboo, covered bamboo. This is the original bamboo. So this is closed. The other side is closed. Okay? Tapos, then you slice it into half. Okay? Then, you put the rice here. Rounded. Have the rice rounded and put the rice rounded. Why rounded rice? Not just put the rice here on top, but you have to mold it into round. Why? Why?
Iba ang technique sa nilang dictionary, spray lang nila lahat.
Yeah, it can be done. You can have it, the rice here, but we suggest you round it. Why?
So you have more surface area.
More surface area where the microbes will penetrate. If you just fill up with rice, only the top surface area can the microbes penetrate, right? But if you do it rounded, there will be more surface area, right? Right? So, mas maraming space na kayang i-penetrate ng microbes.
Kanarang isa ka pikas malutangan.
Ha?
Yung isa lang, yung isa lang.
Oh, isa lang ibutang, yung bilog-bilog na kanon. Okay? Pagkuman, after the rice, you put in the rice, you put the stick, barbecue stick, on both ends. Oh, tingin. You put the barbecue stick on both ends, and return the half back. No. Hindi sa'yo.
Nahiputo ilang.
Bagong development gibuhat namo para more effective.
Kumana na.
Kaya yung gitudlo sa inyo, yan din gitudlo ko noon. Now, dinedevelop namin para mas maayo, mas guwapo, at minus ang gastos. Now, listen. Now, so you turn this, then you tie this, itali, and you tie the other side. So that hindi matangtang. It cannot be loosened. Clear?
Clear.
Now, why this stick?
Oh, si purpose.
Why this stick? Now, purpose is you want to capture microbes. Why have it hard for the microbes to penetrate your rice? Now, even though without this stick, just this one, even though they are completely covered, microbes can still go in because they are very, very tiny. The microbes can easily go inside. But why make them so hard to penetrate when you want to capture them? Common sense lang.
Yes.
Natural farming is full of common sense. You just need to have common sense. That's why we put in the middle the bamboo so that there will be holes in the middle so that much faster will the microbes penetrate. Why only small stick, not big stick? Because if it's too big, when it rains, water can go inside easily. Claro?
Claro.
So it should be only small one so that rain will not go inside easily. Clear? Okay. Now, so after that, before, I used to teach this one. Ito yung nakita, ito yung tinuro sa inyo. Di ba, ma'am?
Oh.
Oh. We change that. We change it this way. Because this one, you need Manila paper, you need plastic.
Bitaw, gastos na.
This one, no more Manila paper, no more plastic.
Kantura yun.
Cheaper, right? Right?
Right.
But it is really very easy, Kuya, for them to buy the plastic trays.
Yeah, and another one of is, yeah, trays. This one. But here you need still Manila paper, you need still plastic. While this one is indigenous. You have it in your farm.
Yes.
So if you tell me you don't have bamboo in the farms, so this is what you're going to do first. Plant bamboos in the farm. In 5 years' time, you can harvest already. Plant bamboos because bamboos is very crucial in farms. There's a lot of use in bamboos. You can do the posts of your boundaries using bamboos. You can build your house with bamboos. You can have treeless for the gapang, for the crawling of your vine using bamboos. So bamboos have many use in the farm. So that's why you should have bamboos. And finally, later on, what is the purpose of bamboos later on? What's your question?
Kung pag-produce na pananglitan sa aon niya na kay kung black ang magawa si discard man.
We'll go to that later on.
Do you need gloves? Because in the book it says gloves.
No need.
No need.
Yeah, yung gloves for your hand, yeah. You know, farmers, we don't really. If your farm is, because those are mindset that soil is dirty. Come on, guys. Soil is not dirty. Soil is not dirty.
Kung na siya, open man siya. Gamay lang yan. Pero kung panalitan, masudlan siya o mamang.
Wala magkaso ang mamang. No problem with the ants. They cannot finish everything there. When the rice is filled with microbes, ants will never come in. They're afraid of microbes because the microbes will overpower them.
Kaya sana ako naagihan seminar gani. Paputos nila kay Juan daw kasi masudlan ang mga mama.
They just do not understand.
May kalahian di ay.
Yeah. They just don't understand. Once there are many microbes, ants will be afraid to penetrate because the microbes will overpower them. Ano nilang ang microbes will overpower the ants. Kasi they want to get their food. Kung ikaw, meron mag-atake sa'yo, hindi ka mag-depensa, you will defend yourself. The microbes will defend themselves. That's why ants will be afraid to come in.
Kuya, for far-flung areas, we have tried using woodcraft. We have tried using woodcraft instead of rice.
Oh, root crops. You can use root crops. Like cassava,
Kamote. Yeah.
kamote,
Cassava.
any starchy.
Ah,
Starch.
Pwede ba din eh?
Now, listen, why we use rice? Because rice is too common.
common manghod.
That's why rice. Now, in far-flung area where rice is not planted on a regular basis and they have to buy it downtown, what they plant are the root crops. So, root crops can be used.
Parehara sila sir, kuan.
Yes,
Pagkulik.
yes. You have to just cook it and cook it very, very soft and then you can put it there.
Mara na problema kay Google diya malata ang
Isa guay humay. Di na ito magpalit.
kamuting kahoy ba?
Naghanap sa bawang.
Kamote.
Sabaw.
Pero lahi gyud sa may.
Gabi sir, darlang. Pwede na.
So, starchy. Pwede
No,
mo.
no, listen. Okay, listen.
Pwede ra mataka.
My family name is Lim. Okay? My wife have it, make it into acronym. What is the Lim? Lim means less is more. So try to choose something that are cheap, not something that are expensive. The expensive one, you sell it, you buy the cheap one. Get me? Kung for example, mas mahal ang gabi, ibenta ang gabi, bumili ka ng bigas. Saan mas mura? So, ganon. So, always look for the cheapest. Don't always look for the more expensive one.
Kamuti ang mara.
Klaro ba?
Pare,
Simple as that. So, remember my family name, Lim. Less is more. In all the application that you're doing, less is more, Lim. Klaro? Okay. So where are you going to put this one to capture microbes? One of the best area to capture microbes in your farm is in the bamboo. One of the best area to capture indigenous microbes is in the bamboo.
oh, mara man diay.
One of the best in your farm. In your farm. One of the best area to capture microbes is in the bamboo. Why? Very simple. When I was young, up to now, I never heard of bamboos being attacked by viral. Again. When I was small, up to now, I never heard that bamboo is being attacked by viral. So what does that mean? It means
Safe siya.
beneficial are more than the
Beneficial.
beneficial. They live harmoniously in the environment. In the environment, there will always be beneficial and non-beneficial. It cannot be without non-beneficial. Non-beneficial is always there in the environment. Because if there is no non-beneficial, there is no biodiversity. There is no symbiotic relationship. They cannot live alone. They need this one. Clear? But it should be this balance, not this one. This one, this should be plenty. Klaro ba? Okay. So it means that in a bamboo area, the balance is like this. So when you put your rice there, you are going to harvest a lot of this beneficial. Even though you'll be getting some none, no problem. Because this is biodiversity. Symbiotic relationship. So the best area is bamboo. Okay? By the way, to those who don't know, bamboo is not a tree. Bamboo is a grass. If you don't know. Okay? They are the tallest grass. They are not tree. They are grass. They are the tallest grass.
Ay, bambu dito sa inyo, dihan ni mo ibutang.
Okay?
May daghan akong bambo eh.
That's the reason why one of the best areas is bamboo, because of this balance. Clear?
Aside from bamboo, sir.
I will go to that later on. So how do you put it? Don't go faster than me.
Sige.
You'll be learning everything. So this guy, what he did, he put 3.
3.
Look, he put 3 in one area. But if I'm this guy, I will not put 3 in one area. I will put 1 here, 1 there, and the 1 at the back. Why? Common sense. Now remember, you don't know what kind of microbes you are capturing, right? Even scientists don't know. Because they know only 10%. There's a lot of microbes that they still don't know. So even you don't know what you're capturing. Common sense is that what you need to do in the farm is to capture more varieties, more kinds of microbes, and spread it in your farm. That's your goal. Yan ang goal ninyo. More kinds, more varieties, and you spread it in your farm. That's your goal. Now, that's why it's much common sense if you spread out your rice. So you will be capturing more varieties. Not only a few kinds, but more kinds. And when you do this in one bamboo area, next time you want to capture, don't capture there anymore. Go to another bamboo area and capture there again. Because your goal is to increase many varieties of microbes. Yan ang goal ninyo. Maraming varieties. Klaro ba?
Yes. Species.
Guys, si Hamod, marunong, inaantok siya, nagtayo siya para makagising siya, hindi nakaupo. I was telling them, you are intelligent because you stand up, because you are going to sleep, that's why you stand up, so that you'll be awake. So if you want to go to sleep, just stand on the back and just stretch, and you'll be awake. Okay? Now, klaro ba? Clear? Separate them in many areas. The more areas you capture, the more better you are going to have diversity of microbes that you will be capturing. Okay. Now, when you are doing this, first listen to the weather forecast. Again, when you are doing this, first listen to the weather forecast. Why? If Kuya Kim, if the weather forecast said 3 days sunny day, then do it. But if the weather forecast said 3 days rainy day, almost whole day rainy day, don't do it. Right? Very simple. Like you guys, you wake up in the morning and it rains. Do you like to wake up? You like to sleep more because it's cool. You're not easily awakened when there is rain, right? But in this sunshine, energized ka agad. You wake up immediately when it's sunshine. So as the microbes, when it rains, they are not so much like to work. Okay? They are just relaxing. Okay? So that's why you will capture less when there is a rain. But when it is sunny day like today, wow, you are going to see very active. They are very active. Clear? Okay. Now, there are also do's and don'ts when you want to do this. Now, this is especially the women. The women, if you have monthly period, don't do it. Narinig niyo? If you have monthly period, don't do this. Let the man do it. Why? What is monthly period? Monthly period is releasing negative ions in your body. When you are releasing negative ions and you are the one who mold the rice, that negative ion should be in the rice. The only one that will attract the rice is the non-beneficial. Clear? So this is for the ladies. Now, this is both for the ladies and men. If you have anger, if you have unforgiveness spirit, don't do it. Because while you're doing, you are hating. My brother, I want to kill him because he does something wrong to me. Oh, that's negative ion. So the one that will attract is the non-beneficial. So these are the conditions that you'll be capturing a lot of non-beneficial. And thirdly, for example, this tree is being attacked by many diseases. So almost the whole tree is dying and the leaves are being falling down on the ground. Don't tell me you're going to put this on that ground.
Na.
It's common sense, right?
Yes.
You don't put it on that ground because you see more negative are there. Am I right? So don't put your rice in there because you'll be capturing a lot of those diseases. Clear? That's another common sense. Okay. Now, so you will leave it there for 3 days. Iiwanan niyo dyan ng 3 araw. Klaro ba? Pagkatapos, then, these fallen leaves, these fallen bamboo leaves that are dried and they are in the ground for quite a while, medyo matagal-tagal na siya sa ground, get all these leaves and cover it with the leaves. The bamboo with the rice. Cover the dry leaves with the bamboo. Now, why? Very simple. When the leaves that are dried and fall into the ground, this becomes food for your microbes. They are food for your microbes. So when the leaves went down, the microbes are there, they will start feeding on the leaves. They will start feeding on the leaves. So the microbes are there in the leaves. So when you get all these leaves and cover it, you are telling the microbes, come and eat my house. You're inviting them to eat the rice that are in the bamboo that you prepare. Klaro ba? Klaro ba? So leave it for 3 days. Okay. Now, is that the only place that you can capture microbes? No. In your farm, for example, those fallen leaves from the trees, you gather them, you put it in one corner of your farm, you get all the fallen leaves, if that's the way you do it. To me personally, I will not get those leaves. But many of our farmers, what they do, they gather all those leaves and put it aside. Tama? They pile it. Am I right? Those foreign leaves. Am I right? You pile it in one corner, right? You have it there for a quite number of days. So if you put it there in a corner, in a couple of days, it means the microbes are already attacking those leaves because they are food. Am I right? So what you do, that bamboo with the rice, you put it inside the leaves, not on top of the leaves. Why? Because microbes do not penetrate direct sunlight.
Inside, ay.
So you have to put the bamboo with the rice inside the leaves, not on top of the leaves. Because microbes don't like direct sunlight. Simple as that. So you put it inside the leaves. So that's another area where you can capture microbes. Clear? Now, what else? Now, this one is one crucial area that you can capture microbes. If there is those areas in your where you live, it will have a very much good effect in your farm. Now, what is this? Forest. Forest. If you have forest in your area, I will suggest that you capture the one from the forest, the microbes from the forest, and you spray it into your farm. So that the one in the forest, the microbes in the forest, will increase in numbers in your farm. Why? What's the crucial about forest microbes? Listen. When you are doing conventional farming in your farm, you will reduce the biodiversity of microbes. Because many of those microbes were eradicated already through the chemicals that you put into the soil. Ibig sabihin na genocide mo na completely wipe out mo na yung varieties na yan. So you lose a lot of biodiversity of microbes in your farm. But the forest, it had complete biodiversity. So as much as possible, try to capture the one from the forest and spray it into your farm so that those varieties that are in the forest and it's gone already in your farm will increase in your farm. Will increase in your farm. Listen, you need biodiversity of microbes to have complete functions of microbes in your farm.
If the forest is far from the farm.
Okay, that's what I'm going to teach you how. Clear? Now, let's face it, you don't capture directly with using that and put it in the forest and leave it there. No. The best way to capture them is very simple. In the forest, eventually there will be many leaves that are fallen down to the ground, right? Yung mga dahon, nahulog, galing sa forest. What you do, ask somebody to go to the forest with 5 empty sacks and fill the leaves there on the empty sacks. Leaves that have been fallen in the ground for quite a number of times. Medyo matagal na siya. Hindi yung, not the newly fallen leaves. Hindi pwede.
Mga lagya, sir.
Mga dugay na. Kasi
Kasi
the microbes had to start eating the leaves already. But if it's just newly fallen, there's still no microbes on the leaves. You got me?
Yes.
Okay. So get all those leaves. Get all those leaves. Put it in empty sacks, five sacks, and bring it home. Then, even in that sacks, you can put that one already in the sacks. Cover it with the leaves. Because the microbes are there. Or, you empty the 5 sacks and put it in the ground, in your ground, and then you capture it inside. So, one of the things you can do this. Yeah. We built a creek, put all the leaves that are, we got it in the forest, And, see? So we can produce volume. Then we cover this. Cover this with the leaves. Klaro ba? Now, these microbes that you capture from the forest, the crucial point is you spray this in your farm. You spray this in your farm so that you increase the microbial activities of your farm. And when you do not use chemical already in your farm, what happens with these microbes that you capture from the forest? They will increase in number in your farm because there is food in your farm for these microbes. Claro? Claro? So, next time around, you don't need to go to the forest because it's there already in your soil, the microbes. So you can capture already in your soil. Claro? And to me, the best way first is to capture the one from the forest and spray it out in your farm. Let them grow first, then that's the time that you capture again from your land. That's the best. Any question here? Now, when I said forest, it should be forest. Hindi man-made forest. Because we have been planting a lot of mahogany, gemelina in big scale. Now, you could see those 1 hectare planted with mahogany or gemelina. There's no birds inside. There's no birds living inside. They know that it's too dangerous to live inside.
Gemelina, sir, it's toxic.
And mahogany.
Mahogany?
Toxic yan po.
Toxic bang mahogany, sir? Ang iba, sir, ay kumakain ng liso dahil medicinal daw yun.
When it's small volumes, no problem.
Ah,
We're talking about 1 hectare fully planted of just one kind of mahogany. There's no birds inside.
there's no birds.
Because birds know he cannot live inside because of too much toxicity inside. They will never survive. You can see 1 hectare planted with mahogany
Planted with gemelina.
or gemelina, no birds inside.
So sa research, sir, toxic din ang gemelina, sir.
Listen. Anything that is very, very, very high protein are toxic. Very high.
Protein.
Yes. Gemelina and mahogany are high protein. Leguminous.
Leguminous.
So too high protein, they become toxic. That's why they cannot be planted just them alone. Kasi grabe na yung toxicity kung sila lang. Clear? But only 1, 2, no problem. Few trees of that, no problem. But 1 hectare fully planted with just mahogany or gemelina, you'll see. No birds will go inside. Nangyari, nakita mo?
Daghan ng gemelina sa abusan, sir, sir.
Bigyan mo ka ng langgam na sa kwan. Bigyan mo ka ng langgam sa kanagin.
Lagi. Tinod na?
Magdimayo ang ilang pagtatatawa.
So that's why, guys, it should not be planted just them alone in big areas. Because you see, no birds is going to live there. Okay? It should be diversified, not alone. Okay, so forest, it means there are many kinds of plants that are being planted in the forest. That is called the forest. Okay? Hindi lang isang klase. No? Mostly, kung pwede, indigenous mga trees, which indigenous in the